going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Big Ten champions. Big Ten champs.
National champions, yes.
Oklahoma City bound the Oregon Ducks.
Awesome day to be a Duck, man.
Boom inside. Touchdown Oregon. He gets loose. Fires. Hit. Pops the three. Oh, yeah. It's all Oregon.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider.
It's about how to be a group of people that know how to love each other to the absolute fullest.
Pleasure, joy to be with them each and every day. And I can't wait for the future.
It's just fun to be a part of a community that cares, that is passionate, and when we come together, powerful things can happen.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck athletics.
Women's basketball with a big-time win on the road last night, and now they get set for a matchup between two top 25 ranked teams in the net. I get so confused, I admit myself, when I talk about a top 25 team. Well, is it a top 25 team in the coaches poll? Is it in the media poll? Or, in football, is it the college football playoff rankings? In basketball now, it's the net rankings. We talk in volleyball like it's the RPI. And in baseball now, I talk about, a lot of different rankings, if I'm being honest with you. So, look, the fact is that women's basketball, after that win, a good win, now 16-8, 4-6 in Big Ten play, a 74-53 win over Rutgers yesterday. The Ducks are in a good position from a resume standpoint. We'll break that down. This game in particular, I thought there were some big takeaways, and maybe the largest is that Ari Long really stepped up, had 6 rebounds in a quarter, 12 points, 12 rebounds, a double-double in 27 minutes. Oregon was up 3 after the first quarter, and then the second quarter I think is so indicative of what this Oregon women's basketball team is capable of. They outscored Rutgers 25-9, and the defensive rebounding was a big part of that. As Oregon continues to improve in rebounding the basketball, I heard Chris talking about this on the broadcast last night, that's when Oregon could be really dangerous. And then, don't look now, but Ahisa Tute, 17 points, led the Ducks in scoring, almost had a double-double in her own right in 24 minutes, 9 rebounds, and did it on 8 of 11 shooting. When a Tute is that efficient inside, Oregon's tough to stop, because I think early in the season, you look at the box score, if you're an opposing team, you look at the scouting report, and it's like, okay, you got to stop Mia Jacobs. Mia Jacobs was 4 of 10, was 1 of 6 from 3, much more efficient inside the arc, but still scored 10 points. Katie Fiso scored 12. Ducks had 4 players in double figures. The 5 starters, almost all were in double figures. Sophia Bell had 8 points. I think that this Oregon team is getting deeper and deeper as the season has gone on. Avery Kane came off the bench, scored 9 points, was in the Country Financial Studio with Chris just this week. 74-53 the final. Ducks shot 45% overall. And the rebounding. Here's what I come back to. The rebounding. A 45-30 advantage on the glass. That's an impressive performance from Oregon women's basketball. And again, now 16-8, 4-6 in Big Ten play, and a big opportunity on Saturday. The Ducks are actually going to tour the capital, Washington, D.C. They get a chance to explore a little bit as they now get set for a matchup in College Park, Maryland at 2 o'clock on Saturday. We'll hear from Coach Graves coming up. Men's basketball. Here's what I wrote on my notes. I'm going to read this to you, okay? UGH continues. That's what I wrote on my notes after last night. UG continues. Okay, this is an Oregon team that's just so beat up. For the first time this season, the Duck men's basketball team did not have Takai Simpkins. That meant Oregon utilized its 11th different starting lineup last night. Men's basketball shot 36%, 28% from 3. A 73-57 final. UCLA got the win. And it felt like UCLA, once they got out to a double-digit lead, they just continued to keep Oregon at bay. Right around that 10 to 15 point mark throughout the second half. At one point, with a little over 12 minutes to go, Oregon made a few shots, 3 straight shots, 2 of them were threes. And The Ducks got within 10. Mick Cronin had to call a timeout. You're going, okay, here we go, As Dane Altman would say, Ducks swing away. But then a turnover. And then UCLA answers with a bucket. And that margin for error continues to just be so small for the Oregon men. So small. And I know that it's sounding like a broken record with all the injuries, but the Ducks are just simply not a deep team right now because of the injuries to Nate Biddle, Jackson Shellstad, Takai Simpkins, now Ezekiel Demir. Some of those guys hoping to make their way back. Jackson Shellstad looks like he won't. But Nate Biddle, Takai Simpkins, maybe Ezekiel Demir, we'll see. Coach Altman with some updates on that here moving forward. Elsewhere on today's show, Jess Drummond, the Oregon Lacrosse head coach. We're going to sit down with Jess Drummond, getting into what I think is going to be a fun lacrosse season. The Big Ten in women's lacrosse is filled with elite teams. But the Ducks are starting out on the West Coast most of the non-conference season. Some of that, I think, intentional scheduling by Coach Drummond, right? Not wanting to go east when they've got to go east in conference play as often. But now also, this is the first full recruiting class for Jess Drummond. Think about that. In the way that it happens with the recruiting calendar, if you will. A lot of student athletes had already committed by the time Jess Drummond got the job here at Oregon. So this is the first group of freshmen that really her and her staff have brought in. It's amazing how long it can take. The transfer portal, I think there's this narrative around college athletics, and it's true, that the transfer portal can turn a team quickly. But in a sport like lacrosse, you don't see as much transfer portal movement, and so it can be more difficult to turn a team and a roster in that way, right? You're still building from the freshman level up. So I'm excited to see what the roster makeup is with some of the younger infusion of talent for what is now an experienced group that's playing in Coach Drummond's system. We'll break all that down with Jess Drummond coming up. And if you missed it, we've got an Oregon football schedule for 2026. Ducks open against Boise State, then at Oklahoma State, home against Portland State, and then at USC before a bye week the first week of October. UCLA, Nebraska, at Illinois, Northwestern, at Ohio State, the first game in November, home against Michigan, at Michigan State, and then home against Washington. 8 straight weeks of games for the Ducks. Northwestern and UCLA are the only other teams that have that long of a stretch. However, Oregon does not have back-to-back road games. Ducks will play UCLA and Nebraska back-to-back home weekends. That full Big Ten football schedule, it's now out there for everybody to digest and consume. But to give you an idea, Illinois has a bye in Week 7. Actually, ironically, right before they play the Ducks. Indiana has a bye in Week 10. So Indiana has to actually play 8 straight weeks to start the season. 9 straight weeks to start the season for Indiana, if I can do math. USC does technically have 2 byes because they're playing in 0 week against a to-be-determined opponent. Iowa's got a bye Week 7, Maryland Week 8, Michigan Week 6, Michigan State Week 9, Minnesota has a bye Week 7, Nebraska Week 8. You see a commonality there? Northwestern's Week 2, Ducks, their bye is Week 5, Ohio State's bye Week 8. Penn State and Purdue both have byes Week 8. Week 6 for Rutgers. UCLA's is Week 5, right before the Bruins play Oregon. So UCLA and Oregon have the same stack, where it's 8 straight weeks to end the season they've got games. USC's got one Week 7 and Week 10. And then it's interesting, Washington also Week 8, and then Wisconsin Week 6. So I got to tell you, my first thought when I saw this, I went, gosh, I really hope we have a lot to talk about on Friday because we're not going to have as many games to pick in Week 7 and Week 8. That's the way that it works out in the Big Ten football scheduling. So I've seen a lot of fans reacting like, well, Oregon, that's tough. Oregon, UCLA, 8 straight weeks to end the season. Yeah. But it's not like Oregon was like Northwestern where the bye is Week 2. and then you're playing the rest of the year. I don't know. There's no perfect way to do this. I do not have the mental capacity and brain power to try to figure out a schedule grid like that. I don't envy the conference offices. Also, I see things through green and yellow lenses, and week 8 would have been a nice bye week. Later on the show, I did look into what other games are going on during Oregon's bye week. There's some intriguing Big Ten games. Stick with us. All right, let's hear a little bit, though, from Kelly Graves, revisiting women's basketball. A good win for the Ducks, their 16th of the season. Got it done against Rutgers. He talked with Chris Clayton on the postgame show yesterday. I think you'll like what he has to say. There's always room for improvement, especially when you're talking with Coach Graves.
Things kind of flipped in that second quarter, 25-9. What do you think was the biggest difference there?
Well, I thought we started to create some offense of our defense. Especially Ari. I mean, single-handedly in that quarter. I know in the first half she ended up with 9 disruptions and I think 8 rebounds in one half. And she was just making things happen, and we got it rolling. And once we got it rolling, it just seemed like everything was going in for us. And, and it was a kind of a team effort, too, during that stretch. It wasn't just one player getting hot. In fact, I thought we had some great looks at threes. It could have been even worse, and we weren't shooting it all that well. But it was our defense, and then we were just able to get it out and go. I think what we end up with 25 fast break points. That's a lot, and a lot of that was in the first half, 15 of them.
And you talked a lot about, and you talk about this every game, but the importance of rebounding. You were plus 15 on the glass. What do you think about the rebounding?
Well, I don't know if we've ever been plus 15 this year. So, I thought we did an excellent job on the board. And it wasn't just our inside kids. I know he's had 9 and, some others had, our inside players did a good job. But it was our guards getting a bunch of rebounds. We already mentioned Ari. And that way when the guard gets it, then it makes our transition go a little bit better. We don't have to throw the outlet. They can just get it and go and kick it ahead. And like I said, we were clicking. That was, it came to a crawl in that last 15 minutes of the game. But really, we came out in that second half and did the same thing offensively. We were giving up a few points, but we did the same thing offensively. And, and then once we built it up, listen, they weren't going to come back on us, but as a coach, I'm always trying to, make sure that we're playing the right way for 40 minutes. And I think the last 15, we kind of, we turned it over too much. I thought we just took some things for granted.
I want to go back. You mentioned Ari Long and her impact. That's 4 games in a row now. She's in double figures. She had a block and 4 steals in this game. But it seems like her consistency is coming now offensively. What have you seen from her development over the last month or so?
Well, she's just being aggressive. And, whatever she gives us at the offensive end is a bonus. Her value to the team is she just disrupts the other team's offense. You see her in there, inside, just grabbing it from people. And usually when she gets her hands on it, she takes it. But, she's, she's letting it affect her offense. She's getting down here and she's being aggressive offensively, and it's awesome to see if we can get that. That's got to be probably her first double-double of her career, right?
Her previous high was 6 rebounds.
6 rebounds. So she was on point tonight, and she spearheads that defense. Someone like Sophia, she gets a lot of disruption, but she does them just kind of the old-fashioned way. She's just in the right place at the right time. Ari gambles a little bit more, but she makes plays that way. So they're a great tandem. And then I thought Katie was really good tonight. She took a couple of questionable shots maybe in the first quarter, but no turnover, 7 assists. She got her teammates involved, and I think we're just better when she does that. And then the second half, of course, Ahis came out and was a beast. Early on, they had no answer for her. So we got just great balance tonight, Chris, inside, outside. I didn't shoot the 3 that well. What'd we end up from the 3?
9 of 27, 33%.
Okay, not great. I don't have my glasses, and it's kind of dark up here. So, we didn't shoot it all that well, but it seemed like, we just got contributions across the board, and, inside, outside, in transition, in the half court. It's just one of those games.
Now you got Maryland. It's going to be a nice challenge on Saturday. What do you know about them, and what's going to be key to success there?
Well, I haven't paid any attention to them. I've seen them, a couple of times, but I haven't, I try not to get too far ahead.
Right.
In fact, not too far ahead. I don't get ahead at all. So I'll watch them tonight. I'll watch a little bit of us tonight, and then tomorrow will be the day that I really will spend pretty much the whole day watching them. My staff is already on it. We have somebody assigned to them, so we'll be ready tomorrow at practice to be working on some Maryland concepts. I do know they're really good.
Yep.
Obviously, they love the transition game. They're good on the boards. They really don't have any glaring weaknesses, and they're playing at home, so we're going to have our work cut out for us. How did they do tonight?
They are in a close game right now. Last check, they're up by 4 with 3 minutes left.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
There we go. They're in overtime. We just got word in our ear.
It went overtime.
59-all. It's going to OT.
Okay, yeah. Well, that's good. Well, Washington is a good defensive team, so, to hold them to 59 in regulation is really good. So, hey, what the heck? We've played pretty well on the road.
Yeah.
And so why not? Let's go down and take it.
Should be fun. 2 p.m. on Saturday. Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Okay, buddy.
And to that point, they were talking about it there on the postgame show. So it was number 25 Washington in double overtime, 83-80 over number 16 Maryland. That was yesterday. So Maryland, an aggressive game on both sides, a hard-fought game, and that helps Oregon now. Maryland maybe a little more beat up, perhaps, after playing into double overtime. That might help Oregon here on the road as the Ducks now get ready to face Maryland on Saturday. We'll come back, a little bit of men's basketball and getting you ready to check out some lacrosse at Pape Field. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear Winter, Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/25.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear Winter, Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/25.
This is Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA. It's really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families. And one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas.
Congratulations on getting your diploma.
You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
I want you to know. I said I want you to know right now. You've been good to me, baby. Better than I've been.
We're back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here with you in the Country Financial Studio. Men's basketball, the best way I can describe it right now is the grind is on for the Ducks. You're missing a few of your better players. And the fact is, it does give opportunity to a few others, but certainly there's a reason that guys like Jackson Shellstad and Nate Biddle were considered to be all-conference type players. However, there were still some fun moments. Celebrating the Grateful Ducks, the tie-dye Sabrinas were great. Tie-dye Sabrina's outstanding. I did find myself at times thinking, someone asked me yesterday about my favorite Bill Walton stories, and I found myself thinking during the game a few different times, like, Bill would have thought this was cool. You know, he would have thought it was fun. And it was great to see 11 members of the Kamikaze Kids at the game last night. They got recognized during one of the timeouts. Luke's sitting next to me. Ernie walks by, and Ernie Kent just goes, "Oh, it's like I'm in heaven. It's Luke Jackson." And I just went, "Oh, yes." Like, that put a smile on my face. So I know the results aren't what anyone wants this year. But still, that recognition of the history was fun. And you know, Luke giving Ernie the high five. That was fun to see. And I was glad that fans gave the Kamikaze Kids that standing ovation at Matthew Knight Arena last night. That was really cool. And I also want to say, too, like, the pressure that's being put on a guy like KJ Evans right now for this team is significant. And KJ Evans scored 24 points. That was a career high on 9 of 18 shooting. 8 rebounds. He played 39 minutes. Only ducking double figures. And, you know, Luke and I were talking about it. Like, he could have taken 25 shots in this game. He was getting double-teamed every time. Still was able to put up 24 points. Nearly half of Oregon's total points in this contest. You know, he's going to have to step up in that way. And again, the margin for error is real slim. Sean Stewart got in foul trouble early. Still ended up playing 29 minutes. But he got in foul trouble early, and that kind of allowed UCLA to extend, I thought, at the end of the first half. Well, a couple conversations with Coach Altman. He sat down with me and Luke courtside postgame, some of his immediate reaction after the loss to UCLA.
Coach, as you continue to grind through it, what sticks out to you from tonight's ball game?
Well, the second chance opportunities, obviously, 19-5. It's the difference in the game right there. Their offensive rebound putbacks, you know, our lack of physicality on the boards, you know, really was a problem for us. So, again, just not move ball very well on the offensive end, and then just rebounding. I know the rebounding numbers were close, but when you have a 19-5 second chance difference, we had 11 offensive rebounds, but we only got 5 points out of it. They had 12 for 19, so big difference there.
In the second half, did make a little run at him. Had to call a timeout.
We did. I mean, but then an offensive rebound and a turnover. Our margin for error is just so small, and you know, you get a couple opportunities like that. You got to get them to tighten up a little bit. It's, you know, they shot 39%. You know, it's not like they shot the heck out of it. It's just we couldn't go get the rebounds.
KJ Evans gave you a career high in points tonight.
Yeah, no, he did. He had a couple bad turnovers at critical time, but he played good. I mean, he played good. You know, he tried to make, you know, a lot of plays. He played 39 minutes. You know, we're asking a lot of him and Sean. And, you know, we got to give him some help on the boards.
It seemed like Sean getting in foul trouble for you a little bit early on. That had to impact
Yeah, it
things.
didn't help us. You know, that hurt us a little bit. You know, just, you know, Luke's trying, you know, but he's inexperienced and a little undersized against those guys, so it gave him some trouble.
Grind continues against Iowa. A few days of practice here to get ready.
Yeah. No, it's hopefully, you know, I don't know if TK maybe – can go. We'll check his ankle. Nate's probably still out, but you know, we've got 5 home games, 5 road games. We got to get those guys back and hopefully make some progress. But it's obvious we need Nate on the boards and need his presence defensively. You know, and hopefully TK can hit some shots for us.
All right, Coach. Thanks for the time.
All righty.
That's Stan Altman. You hear that in his voice, right? Like, it is the grind that continues. And that was our conversation when he comes out courtside and sits with Luke and I. Also goes into the press room, and I think you'll hear it in his voice here too. Like, it's just part of the grind. And he is so consistent, Coach Altman is, with those expectations. And you'll hear that in his voice here.
Well, you mentioned the other day that Kwame is a player who hasn't given into everything that's happening, and it looks like he played like that tonight. Just what are your thoughts on his performance?
Oh, he really tried to compete. You know, 39 minutes wore him out there. No, he did a lot of good things. Didn't get much help. You know, our other guys on the board. Sean got some boards, but you know, second chance points, 19-5. We got 11 offensive rebounds. We just didn't do anything with them. They turned theirs into points, and that 19-5 difference there was huge.
The free throw disparity. Did you play within what you wanted offensively, or is there something there that?
Oh, I don't. Our ball movement wasn't good. We took some bad shots. Guys, trying to get something going and just rushed some things, took some really tough shots.
In what ways did the kind of 1-2 punch of Bilodeau and Daly there affect you guys inside?
Well, all of them, got to the line, but they're inside guys. Yeah, they really killed us, So, yeah, inside guys, but Dent got it going there. He had 15. Perry hit a couple. So, and it was a team effort. I mean, we held them to 39%, 38 from 3. They got to the line a lot more than we did. Pretty hard to guard them at the free throw line.
Pryor didn't play in the second half?
He said his groin was bothering him. So,
and hopefully that will be something that Dev Pryor, man, I'll tell you what, I just feel so bad for Devon Pryor because he had the groin, he's tried to play through it, and then just continued into this game. Like, it really has been when it rains, it pours, right? Like Takai Simpkins late in the Washington game, that tweaks the ankle. It just stinks, man. It just stinks. To see all the injuries, and especially the way that the Ducks have changed the rotation. I mean, Devon Pryor and Desrick Lindsay starting in the same lineup together in this game. It unfortunately just tells you where this Oregon team is at. Hopefully a little bit healthier heading into that 5 o'clock game against Iowa. Ducks are talented enough to get somebody, but they're going to have to play really well because that margin for error continues to just be so small. Coming up, we're going to shift gears to lacrosse. Pape Field getting ready to host little Oregon lacrosse, and we're going to talk with the head coach, Jess Drummond, coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
When life blindsides you with an injury, you need a team that's tough. For over 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people. This season, we're proud to partner with Oregon Athletics. Because whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, we're both determined to do what it takes to win. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Oregon Athletics. Injured? Dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, 10150 Southwest 6th Avenue, Portland. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
We just kind of knew from the beginning that we were family.
They showcased a sense of love that I never had before. I mean, he's not only my parent, he's like my best friend.
At the end of the day, it's all been worth it. I wouldn't change a thing about our lives.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
I left my heart in Oregon. Oh, I left my heart in Oregon. Yeah, I left my heart in Oregon.
Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio, getting ready for Oregon lacrosse season, one of many spring sports that's spooling up. Mark Wasikowski was just in the studio today. We were talking through some things for Oregon baseball. Arizona State is the first opponent for Oregon lacrosse. It's on February 7th. That's next Saturday. I talked to Jess Drummond. I said, hey, you want to do some regular conversations again? She's like, yes. That's always refreshing for the broadcaster. You're like, yes, I would love to come back into the studio. So thank you to Jess Drummond for that. The Ducks will also take part in a multi-team event in San Diego. They'll play Fairleigh Dickinson University and San Diego State the following week. And then Cal comes to Pape Field. Again, staying with some of those West Coast teams before they travel to the likes of Maryland, Northwestern, Ohio State. Those are the sorts of schools that the Ducks will head out to. But a lot of home matchups for the Ducks. I mentioned that trip to San Diego, but then at home against Cal, at home against Eastern Michigan, at home against UC Davis, at home against Delaware State, at home against Kent State. Then I actually said they're going to go to Maryland Northwestern. No, they'll host Maryland Northwestern. Oregon Lacrosse mostly is at home until the end of March. Great opportunity to build that non-conference resume and put together potentially a postseason campaign for Jess Drummond as she continues to build this program. We covered a lot. She was actually in the studio yesterday. We'll talk with her every Wednesday during the regular season. A lot to unpack about the offseason, where the Ducks have been, what they've been up to. Our first of many chats with Oregon Lacrosse head coach Jess Drummond. It's time to talk lacrosse. Jess Drummond is here, Oregon Lacrosse head coach, starting our weekly conversations. Coach, it's great to see you.
We're back.
How many people call you coach at this point?
Maybe like 3.
So when
it's usually the first years.
Because I introduce Coach Drummond, and I remember still first conversation that we ever had, you were like, no one calls me that. You are of the era, right? That you're like, no, it's Jess, or like, does anyone say
just
Coach
Drummond?
Jess?
They just say Drummond. Some say Coach Jess. Again, it's like the first years where they're still kind of like,
what do they call you on the recruiting trail? Like, are you
Coach Drummond?
You're not like Coach Jess Drummond. Like, it's not full name at that point.
No. Well, I can't talk to them on the recruiting trail.
But I mean, like, if they're like committed or whatever.
Yeah, they'll say Jess, and then once they're around the team, then they'll start calling me Drummond.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So you are a last name solo person.
I like it.
All right.
And then when you graduate, then I'm Jess.
Second hard-hitting question for you. Of all the Jessicas that you know, how many actually go by Jessica versus Jess?
1.
I don't know any Jessicas that go by Jessica.
No.
I know 4 Jesses that I routinely talk to.
Any Jessies?
No,
Yeah, I know one Jessie.
I do
a teammate Jessie.
do not know a Jessie that goes by that if their full name is Jessica. These are the hard-hitting questions as we begin
Super hard-hitting.
with Jess Drummond. Let's also focus today on the shoe game. We know this is an important piece of the University of Oregon lore, if you will. Look at Coach Drummond's shoes today.
Ooh.
Look at Jess's shoes today. You got to tell us more.
What do you mean?
I
love them. And, I don't wear them that much because I like to wear, but when they're matching, they're matching. But this was in my box when I first signed and accepted the job. They sent me a beautifully done welcome package, and it was like, go Ducks.
Go Ducks.
Yeah, and these shoes were in there.
Do you have any attire? I know I've asked you this about like your playing days, but do you have shoes that you still wear from your playing days?
No.
Dang.
No. And we have a rule in the house that like if you haven't worn a shoe in 2 years, it's time to get them out.
I probably need that rule.
But then the year comes up, and I'm like, every day it's a different shoe.
Right.
And I'm like, nope, I wore them. Like, check it.
So, because I was going to say, like, somebody like you who's, you're at practice, you're working, those shoes aren't going to last for that many years. I get it. I understand. Hard-hitting questions with Jess Drummond. What have you been up to? How was the off-season?
It was great. Traveled a lot for recruiting over the summer, hosted some awesome camps, got a puppy.
Oh!
So that was a choice.
Right
after having a baby. So
how old was the baby when puppy?
5 to 6 months. Not moving yet, so we justified, just have to chase a puppy. And then the puppy came home, and Jensen started crawling immediately. And I was like, oh.
So you said, let's add a land shark.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What kind of dog?
A boxer.
Okay.
Yeah, she's pushing. She's close to 70 pounds now at 10 months.
Yeah, but you're a dog person, right?
I love dogs. Yeah. Love dogs.
So we had said before that your son was going to be the unofficial official mascot of the team. Is now the boxer the unofficial official mascot of the team?
No, not yet. But the team loves her.
That's
so
good.
I think it hits both sides. Those that are puppy people and those that are baby people. We've got that both covered.
When you are playing fetch with the dog, do you always bring your lacrosse stick?
No, but
should you?
Maybe. Same. We use our Chuck It, and she'll just.
I mean, they're the same technology piece, right? Like a Chuck It thing, like, you know. You could just,
go. Yep.
Like,
yep.
You
fair.
must be able to still huck a lacrosse ball for the dog.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so.
Still got that.
Wow. There are so many questions in my mind now. How's it going with the dog, then?
Funny you ask. We just had a terrible incident this weekend at the park. She got the crazy zoomies and then head-to-head with our son and knocked him 3 feet. And big shiner.
Good.
Probably the biggest shiner I've ever seen on anyone.
Well,
yeah, we're on the healing mend. It's turning
it's a good
yellow.
story.
I got some yellow going. Yeah. My husband loves that I share that story because he was on watch. I'm like, these are gonna happen. Yeah, he's totally fine. The dog was more hurt than he was.
There's gonna be a lacrosse ball that goes stray.
Yeah.
A few times, I'm sure. Right.
Yeah. I hope he's not in that danger zone, but.
Well, hopefully not. But.
You never know.
I'm trying to remember if I ever seen a lacrosse ball like go into the stands at Pape. I don't think I have. That'd be quite.
No,
the pass.
that would be tough.
That'd be catastrophic.
I hope that's not ever the case on our field.
So that was your off season.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the team.
Yeah.
What do you like about your team this year?
They have such good vibes. They're gritty. They are fully connected. The culture is so strong. I just love how they're each other's best friends on and off the field, and we've grown so much that we've got a really strong accountability piece, which is something that we've been working on for the past couple of years, and I feel like they have really understood what that looks like and have kind of implemented that these past couple of weeks.
You and I have talked before about like player-led teams and like the value of that. Sounds like that, and you're trending in that direction.
Yeah, that was something that I kind of realized as a coach. I can't always just provide answers. I need them to be able to find the answers within themselves, and that's been really helpful to see. And we've made probably the most growth we've had in this last month since I've been here.
Well, then what's been the schedule like? I mean, take fans through your off season as you approach now.
Yeah, so we get back. We had our first week was 8 hours, just kind of coming back, dusting off those cobwebs of break. Last week, we've been doing a lot of just playing scenario scrimmages. We've got some new rules implemented, and so we're trying to learn those a little bit more. And so this week, I'm super pumped. We're doing team-led scout. So we split the team into 2 groups. They're teams for the week, and they have to come up with their own scout and prep their team for that. So they went through a scout yesterday. We told them kind of some ins and outs of how we build a scout, and then today they're going to present it to the team. Friday we'll go over our game plan, and Saturday they'll scrimmage, a full scrimmage against each other.
So they get a little taste of coaching.
Yes, exactly. That new perspective, trying to teach them. Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine that's a little eye-opening in some
cases. I hope it's great for them to be like, okay, that's how someone views me, so I can grow my game in that area. I think it's always key that you're trying to think of how someone could scout you to then improve your game and be more dynamic and change that.
I imagine that the peer criticism is probably powerful.
Yeah,
that way.
Yeah. They love to hype each other up, so they've got so many positives of like what they can do. So it's great.
Do you find that they're often doing like they call it the positivity sandwich, right? In coaching, and you know what I'm talking about, like,
yes,
hey, you do this really well. Maybe let's work on this, but you do that really well. Like, is that
we have strayed away from that. There's no need for fluff.
Okay.
We're D1 athletes. We can take criticism. It's only going to help our growth mentality. So we're really good at that.
All right.
Yeah, that's been our progress these past couple of weeks.
There is not a lot of fluff with Jess Drummond in general. Full disclosure, her office is down the hall from the studio, and oftentimes it's like, you be ready. We'll continue with Jess Drummond. Talking lacrosse, keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial.
Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
When I smoke weed, I get lost in the music. I like to isolate each instrument. The rhythmic bass, the harmonies on the piano, the sticky melody.
Hey, careful, babe. There's someone crossing the street.
Sorry, I didn't see him there.
If you feel different, you drive different. Don't drive high. It's dangerous and illegal everywhere. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We're back at the Country Financial Studio, where Duck Insider is brought to you by OnPoint Community Credit Union. It is also today Oregon Softball Media Day. If you're live with us in the 1 o'clock hour, the entire team meeting with the media, answering a bunch of questions, going over the season that's to come. We'll have a lot of those interviews for you on the show tomorrow, as well as a big women's basketball preview. I'm telling you, I think this Maryland game is going to be a doozy for Oregon women's basketball. That team just lost in double overtime to Washington last night. Ducks got a 20-plus point win at Rutgers. They get a couple days to get ready. I think this is a big game for Oregon against Maryland. Chris Clayton, the voice of the Oregon women, will chat with us here coming up on tomorrow's show. We will also discuss what his nickname is. Jess Drummond, the Oregon Lacrosse head coach. We continue getting ready for the season at Pape Field. Ducks are a little over a week away from their opener for the season. They get rolling in February, and hopefully they're playing for a few months here. I said spring sports are getting rolling. Most of them start really in the winter term. It's just when their championship is, right? Lacrosse is one of those. Let's continue chatting with Jess Drummond. New rules. Break them down for fans. What can they expect? Oh, my goodness.
Okay, you're going to throw me on the spot. Yeah,
okay.
We're supposed to have a rules chat tonight but it just got declined until next week, and so I was like, okay, week of. But a couple things. The critical scoring area has now changed the space. I know we don't have a photo of it, but it's going to just be the goal line extended and the 12 meter.
Do you need a whiteboard?
Yeah, Cece ordered a couple new whiteboards, but
going.
It's gone. You have one?
Well, I have a hand that you can draw on. Continue. I'll be right back. Continue.
Okay. So we have green cards now that are kind of all around the field except for in that critical scoring area. So ideally the rules are going to help make the game more consistent. Okay. And, again, like green cards outside the critical scoring area. We've got, this is the crease. That's the 12. And then we've got our 8 meter inside. So this whole area is a critical scoring area. And then you've got your field. This hand is so tiny, but then we have. Nope.
It's the best whiteboard that I have available.
So that anywhere in there, that's a critical scoring area. So if there's a foul within there, it's going to become an 8 meter. Anything that's a major foul. So there's major fouls and minor fouls. So like an empty stick check is going to be a minor foul. So it can be placed on the 12 meter. Anything that's like a dangerous push, contact, illegal use of your stick, that's going to be in 8 meter.
All right.
So, yeah.
See?
So things to look forward to. But I'm curious. I'm excited. I think it's going to keep the game flow going fast. We do now have a rule where as soon as the stick is checked by the official, you have 30 seconds to be back to the draw. So, and maybe it's like between 30 and 45 seconds. And so that's going to keep things going fast.
So it's all about the pace.
Yeah, keep the pace going, keep viewers wanting more. Well, I think it's easier to follow.
I mean, akin to baseball just recently, right? Like pitch clock at the college level.
Yeah.
Moving the sport quicker, right?
Yep.
I get it. So you sounds like the direction that all this is going.
Yeah,
maybe?
I feel like there's a lot of conflicted views on this. Like, it's a hot debate, but I'm more curious to see how it went. I think in the fall it didn't affect that much of it, just kept faster play. You know, last year it was green cards between the 30s, which I think now openings up below the 30s creates a safer space instead of people just waiting for you to kind of foul you right at that 30.
I'm going to have to make a note to ask you then about this, like midway through the
yes,
season.
Yes, please do.
What do coaches think about all this?
We're a pretty disciplined team, so I think I usually am very well educated. My mom's an official, so she came out in the fall and did this whole rules education session with our team to help us. Yeah, so it was really she's amazing. So
she call a tight game.
No, she understands the game. Like, she understands the flow. She knows, she knows enough to be really insightful on, like pivotal moments to be looking for the fouls or moments where it's like, okay, this is a time you just gotta let them play and they'll be safe.
Your mom being an official probably influenced you being a disciplined coach.
Yes. Yes, and she helps. I'm like, okay, we keep getting called on this. How can we change this from an official's viewpoint to not be a foul? Yeah, it's been great.
What a resource.
And
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. We talk about the breakdown of your team, and I know that's all still moving into the opener, right? Like, you like competition at practice at this point, don't you?
Yeah.
Depth. How is the depth of the team?
Fantastic. It's really refreshing. As we know, last year was tough with injuries, smaller roster. We're up to 35 on our roster right now, and a majority are healthy, and those that aren't fully there yet are going to be coming, or pretty much almost back. So it's been so amazing. And just seeing that growth, like so many reps, getting that recovery, getting in, taking advantage of your opportunities when you're in practice and those drills has been really awesome.
Well, I talked too about like the returners. You mentioned like it being a player-led team, but what about some of the new faces? How have they fused with this group?
Gosh, yeah, this first year class, the incoming, have been so awesome. They've been able to push the upperclassmen. They've been able to just listen and be such good followers while also, not letting that kind of diminish their play on the field.
We've also talked before about how lacrosse, like a lot of sports, it takes a few years of being in a position, right, to build out a program.
Yeah.
Take fans inside that if you could, Coach. Like the runway, if you will, in building a recruiting class and then landing the plane that you're trying to land every year.
Right. I think it's wild to think lacrosse, this freshman class is my first recruiting class. I've brought in a couple transfers here and there, but, with our staff, I'm grateful that I have Cece and Theo who have been here since the beginning. Like, we've brought in this first class, and then our next class of 2026 is, we just hosted a sixes tournament last weekend. We got to see all of our 26s, all of our 27s play together, which is so exciting. And our current team is like, oh my gosh, they're so good. I'm like, yes, like that's the goal. Like, I want to bring in players that are going to come in, be, kind of that force right away, especially at that young age, to be hungry, to want to be in that starting spot, like right away. So it's been really exciting to see that.
So you're not just come as a freshman. You'll maybe start as a junior. Like, you want impactful players right off the bat.
Yeah, and I want that. I want that mentality. Why would be hungry for a spot? If you got something right in front of you, go get it.
Yeah. You talked about your staff.
Yes, I love them.
Shout out your staff.
Always shout out my staff.
It's beginning of the season, right? Like, chance.
Yeah, come on. They're so good.
They might be standing outside the door right now.
Yeah.
Like, is she gonna?
No.
They might be.
They might be.
We've asked that the staff might come in.
I think this is the year we get a.
We got one last year.
Yeah.
Theo came in at one point last year and hyped you up. I mean,
we'll get them.
We'll get them.
They're just so contagious. Good energy.
Good energy.
Yeah.
Seems like your team exudes good energy right now.
Yeah. I love that. They're super involved with all student-athlete committees. We just had the women's symposium on Sunday. I was a table leader. There were 2 former lacrosse alumni as table leaders, and the whole team showed up. And I'm like, this is great.
You should unpack that for fans. I don't know if everybody knows that occurred.
You want
the whole symposium. Go. Do it. I mean, you're on.
Okay. Well, every year, I think Katie Harbert pretty much runs it, and it is for female student athletes. It's an opportunity to grow professionally, to have a networking opportunity, to learn, to be educated, to, bring in other badass female leaders within the community. This year was Haley Lane from the company Together. Have you heard of that? Yeah. So super, super awesome. That is a media platform run company to promote women's sports. So cool. So cool. So Katie had a bunch of table leaders. There had to be around 20-ish table leaders to come and lead tables with the student athletes, like professional career in mind. So there were tables, there was law enforcement, a lawyer, business, education, like just different types of professions
You talk about, the rest of life
Yeah,
after
right.
sports,
Life after college.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Well, yeah. Just after college alone, I say life after sports. It could be, right? That could be what it is. It worked out for you.
I'm here.
Yeah, it worked out for you. What's the schedule now the next week? I know we haven't broken down the team in detail. We'll do that more as you get into some matchups and some games. What's the schedule ahead for the team as you head toward the season opener?
We'll have our team scrimmage on Saturday, which again we talk about depth, like being able to have that many players, to have some subs, to play a full 12v12 against each other, and then next week is game week. So we've got Arizona State opening up. So pumped. Crazy first game of the season, and it's here. It's go time.
Yeah. You excited?
Oh, I'm so pumped. This is what we work for.
Yeah.
It's right here.
The beginning of the season's always fun for so many reasons, but I just always love the level of infectious optimism that every program has.
Right.
Like, that's what makes this fun.
Right. Yeah.
Jess Drummond, what we miss? Anything else fans should know?
I think you got it all. You're so good at this.
The interviewer is only as good as the interviewee.
He would say that.
It's true. Oh, no, it's true. It's true. Now watch this, though. Now we'll see how this is going to go.
No.
This is Coach Jessica Drummond. Does anyone ever call you Jessica?
Yeah,
ever?
My parents, if I'm
That's it?
About to be scolded.
So, it hasn't happened in a long
Jessica.
time then.
No.
Right?
No.
Good.
Yeah. I'm
Jess
an angel.
Drummond. Thank you. I love that she ends that with, I'm an angel. As soon as she said that, I just I love every weekly conversation that we have with Jess Drummond, just because I'm telling you, you walk by their offices, the energy is infectious. And I always come back to this. I've told this story on the air before, that at one point in her first year, they were doing a photo shoot. So if context for the building, if you're in the Casanova Center, where our studio is located here adjacent to Hudson Stadium, you walk out into the main hallway. Well, right across the main hallway is one of our photo studios, right, here at Oregon. So the lacrosse team's in there, and it's just everything you'd expect from a photo shoot day. And it was so infectious that the athletic director, Rob Mullins, walked by, and they would not let him leave without dragging him into the photo set. And there are great pictures of Rob just it's great. That's the sort of energy, though, that Jess Drummond has built with that team. And I think this is a deeper team than they've had in years past, as you heard her allude to there. They've had some injuries in years past. I think this is a deeper squad that's hopefully going to add to those win totals for Oregon lacrosse. Coming up, Oregon softball season almost here. Some details when we return on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs. And for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working at our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
Back to the Country Financial Studios in 60 seconds. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, Get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
I'm coming home to the place that I remember. Back to the land of my first love. Would you spread wide your arms for this wayward son? I left my heart in home.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. We've heard from Jess Drummond talking a little hoops, and now Oregon softball season is on the horizon. The Big Ten for every sport releases a preseason players to watch, and the Ducks have 3 players on that list for the Big Ten. Lindsey Grimes, senior pitcher. Amari Harper, and if you're not familiar with Amari Harper, new outfielder for Oregon, figures to be a big contributor, not just offensively, but defensively for the Ducks. Senior transfer. The Ducks really bolstered their team with the transfers, and this outstanding freshman class from a year ago, now all sophomores. Riley McCoy, the sophomore, represented on the Big Ten softball preseason players to watch list. This is a really talented and deep team. And I think the experience factor certainly is really valuable. But I also just feel like what Coach Lombardi has assembled in terms of depth in the circle, and now it's experience depth. Experience depth at Oregon. Like, there's been experience in the circle under Coach Lombardi, but now here in her 8th season, I think it's safe to say this is the most experienced bunch in terms of games in an Oregon uniform. That's saying something. They know what it's like to play at the Jane. And the Ducks scheduled up early in this season. Oregon Softball Media Day today. We're going to have a lot of those interviews for you on the show tomorrow. A reminder on the Oregon football schedule and an important note. Today, Thursday, that means there's one more day for your football season ticket renewals. Season ticket holders can renew for the 2026 season, and fans can submit 2026 season ticket deposits by visiting goducks.com/FBTix. The deadline for renewals is tomorrow, Friday, January 30th. Deadline for season ticket renewals is tomorrow. Current season ticket holders, you can renew your seat locations at a discounted loyalty price. You might even decide to upgrade to new seats. Now's the time to do it. You can get ahead of it. Season ticket renewal deadline for football is tomorrow. See ya.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone or just taking a deep, calming breath to ground